Are you holding your violin with tension? Do you find that you have a lot of tension in your left hand or perhaps in your jaw and your shoulder? You just don't feel comfortable holding the violin? Well, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to hold the violin properly without tension. Hi, I'm violinist Heather Kay. I train violinists all over the world how to improve their technical skill sets for more melodic playing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for every new video release. Before I even get into the 4 steps of holding the violin properly, what I want you to be aware of is where is your violin pointing when you are holding it. One thing absolutely not to do, I'm going to show you right now. You don't want your scroll pointing off to the side. So see, I'm looking right at you and the scroll is looking that way. This is not how you hold the violin, ever, 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 okay? If you do this, stop right now and retrain yourself to hold the violin properly, all right? Because what's going to happen is if you hold the violin like this and you play for many, many years, you're going to have a lot of problems and a lot of pain. Where we do want the scroll pointing is in front of us and to the left a bit. So you can see, I'm looking straight at you, the scroll is going that way. So if I was standing right now, the scroll would be over my left foot and pointing out with my left toe. Okay, so the left foot would be pointing to the angle of the room there, and the scroll is pointing that direction. So just kind of take note of this, really take a good look of how we hold the violin. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the 4 steps of holding the violin properly. First off is you want to bring the violin to you. You do not want to go to the violin. We don't want to reach for the violin. We don't want to have our chin go for the violin. So many years teaching young violinists, the first thing when they get the violin, it's like, oh, I gotta reach over, I gotta grab it. But that's not the case. The case is you want the violin to come to you. We want to stand tall and straight like a tree, completely in alignment here. Okay, we're completely aligned. Shoulders square, straight, square with the hips, everything is in balance, and we're aligned. And we're going to bring the violin to us. Think about a tree completely firmly rooted in the ground, and we're bringing the violin to us. Now let's talk about how to bring the violin to you. Make a V for violin for the left hand, bring it to the violin, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to tip it upside down like this. Now see what happened to my elbow? My elbow is put into position. When I play, my elbow lives right here. So we're actually putting everybody into position ergonomically here. So I'm going to do that again. Make a V, and bring your violin to you. You have your elbow here. And then you turn the violin and you put it in its little spot right here, okay? You put it right there. And you can actually record yourself and make sure that you're doing it right. You can be watching this video with a mirror so you can work with me and your mirror to make sure that you're actually doing that right. Now, don't underestimate this. You may think, oh, you know, what does this really have to do with anything? But it's super important because you're positioning yourself for success right away. That's how we play. If you have a high elbow, you do something here, you bring the violin here, and you sit here, you're going to have problems with your elbow. So what we want to do is just set you up properly for relaxed, beautiful playing right from the beginning, and that's it. Pretty simple and effortless. We want everything to be simple, beautiful, and effortless with the violin. Bring that violin underneath your jaw. You have your wonderful jawbone right here. All of us humans have this little jawbone, right? So this little jawbone is what's going to help you hold up the violin. It is not the chin. Even though this is called a chin rest, our chin does not go on that. It's our jaw, okay? So the jaw, this jawbone, and we're using our shoulder, and the violin sits there. Now, if you feel like you have to raise your shoulder up, or that it depends on the length of your neck. If you have a tall neck, I would really suggest a shoulder rest. A lot of people ask me what shoulder rest I use. This is a Kuhn shoulder rest. You want to just have that sit really nicely between your shoulder and your jawbone. So your jawbone is actually what's holding it up, all right? And you can look down the violin. Now we don't want to change our angle of our head to look at the violin at all. You're going to get a lot of neck pain if you're doing that. You're actually going to be kind of looking down the violin out of the corner of your eye a little bit, okay? You want to keep everything just normal and natural and how you are naturally, right? So we don't have pain, we don't play with tension. Okay, number 2, let's talk about the left elbow. So when you bring the violin up to us, the left elbow naturally hangs down here. We don't want it to be kicked out. If you have it kicked out here, you're going to have pain back here running down the back of your arm. You'll also probably have a little bit of pain here, and you'll probably have a little bit of pain here. If that resonates with you and you have pain in any of those spots, it's probably because your left elbow is not coming underneath the violin enough. All right, so we want the left elbow to be hanging underneath the violin or actually coming under. Now, when we work up, then that elbow really comes under. You see how that works? And keep in mind, I'm looking straight at you. Shoulders are nice and square. Look where my elbow is. Okay, take note of that. So when you play, you can keep an eye on your elbow as well. Number 3, let's get into the left hand. Now, the perfect left hand is a relaxed left hand. So what you can do is just shake out your hand, give it a shake, 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 shake. Have it super relaxed, flip it around, boom. That's your relaxed left hand. That is a beautiful left hand. It's just relaxed, your natural state of a relaxed left hand. Okay, so that's our left hand. So you can do that while you hold the violin up, shake, 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 bring your hand to the violin. Super relaxed, straight wrist, super straight here, super straight here. We're not kicked out that way, and we're also not kicked in this way. It's just naturally straight. And we don't want to be gripping here. A lot of violinists grip here, and they do some really weird stuff with their thumb. Okay, so keep an eye on that thumb. Your thumb is nice and straight. Go ahead and give your thumb a few taps. You want your thumb to be nice and relaxed. The fleshy part of your thumb is sitting on the violin there on the neck. Okay, we don't want a bent thumb. We also don't want it to be, hyper extended this way or this way. That's all a sign of tension. Your thumb just hangs out. He just hangs out. He's our guide and he just hangs out. There's no tension. He needs to be able to move up and down. He's not gripping. We want to have a little bit of a space here. We don't want to be gripping here and holding the violin tight. A lot of violinists grip here because they're not holding the violin here. All right, so we want to have that nice and balanced. A nice, good violin hold here. The left hand will be free to do what he needs to do without gripping or being stuck. All right, number 4, the fingers. Okay, so when violinists first learn, they typically learn with first finger. The first finger is the first finger to learn. And what happens is that flips this hand out. With our left hand, we have to have our palm facing the fingerboard at all times. At all times. Never do we ever flip out like this. If your palm is facing you, that is incorrect. You want to make sure your palm is facing the fingerboard. Okay? So I would suggest starting with your second finger if you're first learning the violin. But if you've been playing the violin for a while, you can actually check out your fourth finger. A lot of violinists are very weak in the fourth finger because the left hand isn't set up right. What I want you to do is place your fourth finger, feel comfortable with your fourth finger, and then figure out where all the other fingers need to go in order for that fourth finger to feel comfortable. So go ahead and set up your fourth finger, and then you can see where your other fingers can live, okay? Want a nice rounded fourth finger here. And then your other fingers can get set up as well. We don't want it to be first finger and then the fourth finger has to stretch or something weird like this. So set up your fourth finger and then you can easily find out where the other fingers go. So let's recap. What you want to do is check where your violin is pointing. Where is the scroll pointing? We don't want it to be out to the side like this. We want it to be angled nicely on front of us to the left side, okay? Then your violin hold, check your violin hold that you're completely comfortable here. You can hold the violin here, you can talk, you can walk, you can turn around, do circles, dance while you're holding the violin. 3, check out your left hand that it's completely nice and relaxed, relaxed thumb, and that your palm is facing the fingerboard. And finally 4, that your fingers are coming down nice and balanced, not with the first finger and the fourth finger stretches, but a nice rounded 4, and then the others are coming down very, very comfortably. Now that you're set with an amazing violin hold, I'd love to invite you to receive my Beginner Violin Skills book for free. I have a link below and you can check it out and register to get your Beginner Violin Skills book. I'd love to hear from you. Please share with us in the comments below what was your biggest breakthrough with this video. Happy magical practices. Ciao!